Hey everyone, serotonin. We're gonna look at some names and etymology for a minute. Um, it got me thinking today. I was thinking about things like sir and Mr. and Mrs. and doctor and the double meanings of a lot of these things, and it really got me thinking about why we have monikers, why we have titles, I should say, for people. And of course, the most commonly used ones, because if language if English is spelling is spell casting, which I do believe it is, and Latin is believed to be the language of the Draco of the reptilians, then what are all these titles that we're being given? Master, Mr., Mistress. So, presumably, or not presumably, but sorry, sort of as one would expect it, I should say, um, everything seems to be coming from Latin. And so here we have the word master. So I have sifted through a few different things. So there's other descriptions and definitions that I have filtered through, and I think this one works the best for me, and has a bit more truth to it. So the word master has several different, although related, meanings in English. It has given rise to a well-known variant of Mr. So people believe it's Mr. or Master or Meister, coming from German. And the noun master is almost exclusively referred to males, but there's a female counterpart in mistress. And these words have also given rise to various abbreviations of Mr., Mrs., and Ms. Mrs., I'm wondering if it's just a faster way of saying mistress. I don't really know. But, it's presumed to be seen as lower than the master or the mister. Anyway, the etymology of master is, on the surface, rather straightforward. It is from the Latin magister. And magister comes from magi, which they are saying in here just means, where do I have it? Yeah, here we go, magister. So I took it there. I just took in magister and I put it in here. Borrowed from Latin magister, meaning master, chief, head, superior, director, teacher, etc., or from magus, meaning more or great. But the three magi were magicians. It's the beginning of the word magic, magician. I mean, come on. Master is a title used in the Middle Ages, given to a person of authority, to one having a license from a university to teach philosophy and liberal arts, or the possessor of a master's degree is a magister. And then Latin, magister, etymology, magus, meaning more or great. Magister, or magistrate, right, meaning teacher or master. Magister, magistry, magistrorum. Minister, magisterium, magistra, magus, magnus. So very interesting. And then descendants in various languages and references. Okay. All sounds pretty convenient. Okay. And it gives you all sorts of examples and literature in here. Then I have a big problem with the word Lord. My husband's family is Christian, and I'm sort of re-looking at a lot of the Christianity that I grew up with, which was actually Catholicism. And this is another interesting thing I just want to point out, that a lot of these words are coming about in the 15th century. Appears as early as 897, this particular one. Lord, mid-13th. Coming from lavered, lovered, Halford, I'm not even going to try and say that. Meaning a master of a household or ruler, a feudal lord, superior, husband. So a lot of the time, Lord, quite literally, and let me have just a little look at this. I found this extremely interesting. Oh, this is for the word sir. Lord, meaning a superior. Compared with lady, literally bread kneader. I'm not getting that. I don't understand where that's coming from. Household servant, literally a loaf eater. Okay, I'm having a hard time with this. Okay, so, sorry, going back to this. Lavard, from English, Halford or Hlaford, master of a household, ruler, feudal lord, superior husband, also God. Translating Latin, Dominus, Greek, Kyrios in the New Testament, Hebrew, Yahweh in the Old, although English, Drighton was more frequent. Okay, so, again, the Lord's Prayer, right, from 1540s. Okay, so we're already having some issues here because you know, at this point everything has been taken and rewritten. So this is part of the reset. So there's a calendar reset and a language reset, and there's a new pope, and all kinds of stuff going on in here. So again, 13th century, to exercise lordship, to rule as a lord. Now, in my understanding of what God is to me, God is the prime creator of everything and needs no worship from anyone, because there is no ego, because we are all part of this prime creator. We are all from it, and so therefore I don't ask my left hand to worship my right hand. I don't ask my feet to worship my head. You know, my body is all. It is one. So, you know, I'm having some hard times with the word Lord, because to me, to lord something over it, it does mean an authority. So when people are talking about Lord and praying to the Lord, and the Lord will save them, I don't know who they're talking about, and I'm not sure if they understand that it might not be who they think it is. Anyway, just saying, right there. The word Sir, circa 1300, title of an honor or knight, baronet, a variant of sire, and this is what they're going with. What I found very interesting, though, is related entries is surly. The word surly comes from sir, and from what I know of the surliness is, you know, gruff and aggressive and tough and kind of a bit mean and a little bit intimidating. So very interesting. Until the 17th century, it was also the title of priests. So you wouldn't say father, you would say sir. What is very interesting, and it's something that I was trying to find here. Yes. I had heard on the Thomas Williams Truth, Honor, and Integrity show that in ancient Babylonian, the term used to describe the Anunnaki was Sir, S-I-R, Sir. And I know surnames come from this Sir, S-U-R, not S-I-R, but I wonder if these were the names that we were given by the Sirs, the Anunnaki. So, just curious. Sir and Sar. So this was a letter written and received in 2000, dealing with these words: Sar, Sir, Sire, and Surly. And very interestingly, Sir, Sire, and Surly all come apparently traced to the French Monsieur, an old French Sieur, meaning master, Sir, right? And somehow to the Latin senior, i.e. root sen, as in senile. So if you continue reading through here, which I did, which I found very interesting, they're saying that basically the word sir comes from senior, because it exists in all these different languages. So it's established in Italian and Spanish, and also in Greek, and comparative to different words meaning this, and French from monsieur and sire. Sir and Sirrah are only applied to men, which I find very interesting, as my name is Sarah. So very interesting that Sirrah is a title for men of respect. And I have to say, actually, in school, it always drove me crazy when I had a teacher who was a man, and people would be like, sir, sir, because I have pretty bad hearing. And so I'd be like, what? So I'd always be turning around and wondering why they were talking to me. Anyway, I found this extremely interesting. in here. I don't know if people find the same things that I find interesting, but I certainly did. I know that Gaelic and Celtic, I think it's more Gaelic specifically, has roots in Sanskrit and Hebrew. Sanskrit being the ancient Rus language. So here you have, yeah, Tsar, a hero, a prince, a superior person, a lord, a master, head of a nation, a tribe, or a household, a hero. The great father is Sir. Tsar, right? So Sir, again, Anunnaki Sir, makes me wonder. Continuing on. This continues on and it goes on and on and on until we get into the several sen forms. Senis, sinista, Gothic, sinista. I love that. Most senior, so sinister, sinista. Sounds like gangsta. Most senior, eldest, or an elder. Etruscan is san, ancestor, so sir, and sir, senis, old, ancient, right? Fits in. Senator, right? Senex, senile, of or belonging to old people, aged. Senility, senium, the feebleness of age, decline, decay, debility. The Roman senator, not on account of his age, but because of his wisdom and dignity. So think about Senate when you're thinking about this, right? So pretty even, pretty interesting stuff down here. Even goes on to say here, Tsar gives prince, chief, captain, ruler, governor, keeper, chief, captain, lord, steward, and master. So have a look at all of this. What I think is very interesting though is Tsar. Tsar. And you just put a T on top of that and you have Tsar. Right? The Tsar. Here we go. The last element in Belshazzar. Babylonian Usar. The king. Tsar. A Usar. Very interesting stuff. If you find this stuff interesting. Anyway, check it out. Have a look at that. The etymology of professor. Again, the Latin word profiteri, to declare and profess. Exactly. A professor. Someone who professes. That's exactly what I was hoping it would say. So we move on. This one I find very interesting. Doctor. Docteur, a church father, from the old French docteur, and originated directly from medieval Latin, of course, Latin again. Doctor, a religious teacher, advisor, scholar. So back in the day, we were calling priests Mr., and church fathers were called doctors. Docere, the docent. Oh, this is very interesting. In classical Latin, teacher, the agent noun from docere, to show, to teach, to cause, to know, originally to make appear light. Causative of discere, to be seemingly fitting. Very interesting. So how interesting is that? So back in the day, this is very interesting. The chief healer came from archiactor. Sounds like architect. Very interesting. And so we go on. And then this is the part that interests me the most. Doctor verb. To treat as a doctor, administer medical treatment, is from 1712 the sense of to alter, disguise for the purpose of deception, and falsify. I found that very interesting. Also, in the Free Dictionary, we also had doctor was a rig or device contrived for remedying an emergency situation or for doing a special task. Then you look into the definition of rig, and you find out that rig can also mean to fix. The verb, to manipulate or control, usually by deception or dishonest means, to fix in advance for a desired result. Okay. And then just one last thing. And I really don't know if this goes anywhere, but I've noticed there's a few famous people with the initial J in their names. So, and part of the reason I'm bringing this up is because The Simpsons to me used to, as far as I'm concerned, it was like a vehicle for a lot of intel. And especially because I mean, there was a time in my life where The Simpsons was my religion. And now when I look back on so much stuff, I can't believe how much was being said. Anyway, J. Edgar Hoover, Michael J. Fox, Homer J. Simpson, Donald J. Trump. What is the J for? So I had an inkling that it might be for Jesuit, but I don't know. Anyway, what do you guys think about the J initial? What do you think's going on there? Let me know. Anyway, that's it for now. God bless. Stay warm.